Pull, squash, stretch, and otherwise deform objects on the screen using the puppet tools. Whether you're creating realistic animations, fantastic scenarios, or modern art, the puppet tools will expand your creative freedom. In this lesson, you'll learn how to place position pins using the Puppet Position Pin tool. You'll deform an image using advanced pins. Define areas of overlap using the overlap pins. Manipulate rotation and scale using bend pins. Stiffen parts of an image using starch pins. Animate the position of puppet pins. Record animation using the Puppet Sketch tool. And animate facial expressions with Character Animator.
The files that we'll need for this lesson, you have 2 Photoshop files and then a movie file. You'll have this crab, this text, and water background. So make sure you have those readily available. So let's import our stuff. Go to File, Import, File, and go to your wherever you've got your stuff stored. Mine's going to be in Lesson 08 Assets. And we'll click on the crab, hold down the Control, and click Water Background, and import those. Now double click down here, and we're going to click on Text. Go down here to Import As, and change this to Composition Retain Layer Sizes. Click Import on that. Make sure that Editable Layer Styles is checked, and then click OK. Go ahead and click File, Save As, and we're going to name this one Lesson. Oops, I'm not sure what I clicked. Let me cancel this. My fingers got cattywampus on the keyboard. File, Save As. Now, but I want it. It's still weird. Well, had to pause mine, got it to unfreeze. Now, Lesson 08 _ finished, and then click Save. So as with any project, you have to create a new composition. So we're going to click New Composition in the Composition panel. We're going to name this Blue Crab. In the preset, we're going to choose NTSC-DV. Preset automatically sets the width, height, pixel aspect ratio, and frame rate for the composition. In the duration field, it's 10 seconds. That's what we want. Another way to do that would be type 10,000, and that changes it to 10 seconds if you didn't know that. For the background color, we're going to choose a deep cyan color. So R5, G62, B65, and click OK. And then click OK. After Effects opens the new competition in the timeline and composition panels. It's easier to animate the image in context. So first we're going to add the background to the composition. Press the home key or drag this over here to where it's at the beginning of the timeline. And then take the water movie and drag it down to the timeline. And we haven't done this before, but to keep something from having any accidental changes to it, we're going to click here to lock it. You should all know how to lock things. You've done this before. So lock yours. We are now going to animate some imported text. So the final movie includes 2 lines of animated text because we imported the text file as a composition with layers intact. we can work on it on its own timeline panel, editing and animating its layers independently. We're going to add an animation preset to each layer. So drag the text composition from the project panel into the timeline panel, placing it at the top of the layer stack. So click on text. And drag that down and put it at the top. Double click the text composition to open it in its own timeline panel. Shift and click, hold down the shift key and click both of those layers to select them. And then we're going to choose layer, create, and then convert to editable text. Now the text layers can be edited so we can apply animation presets. So go to 3 seconds on the timeline, then deselect both layers and select only the blue crab layer. In the effects and preset panel, I don't know why mine wasn't on default anymore. Go to the effects and preset panel and search for fly in with a twist. Fly in with, and it's right here. Click on that and drag it over here to the blue crab layer. By default, the animation preset lasts just over 2.5 seconds. So the text will begin to fly in at 3 seconds and finish at 5:16. After Effects adds the keyframes for the effect. Go to 5:21. Select the Charter Services layer. Search for Slow Fade On. Slow Fade On. It's right here. Click and drag that to Charter Services. Return to the Blue Crab Timeline panel. So click right here on Blue Crab Timeline panel. Click Home to go to the beginning of the time ruler. Press spacebar to preview the animation, and then press spacebar again after playback is complete. You see Blue Crab coming in. Charter Services goes across. So press spacebar to complete your animation. Good time to click File and then Save.